And we didn't even have Adam here to cough today, but Adam is going to probably watch this along with our remote learners. And the purpose of these quizzes today, ladies, was this is a formative assessment. Exactly, Carmen, thank you. And so the purpose of this, that's the purpose. So we're going to go over this, and so maybe some of you got these all right, but I hope that most of you got at least some of these wrong, so that we can better prepare for tomorrow and subsequent assessments, right? Okay, let's go ahead and look at this first one. And this is one I heard a lot of comments about. What did you get for this first one?
D.
What you do is it says find f of g of 3. Okay, so what you do is you go to the g first, right? Because that's the g first. So you go to 3, and you get 7. Then you take this 7 up here like this, and then you go up like this. So you get an output of 8. All right? Questions on that one? Okay. Now, for the next one here, g of f of 2, and you can see that the notation is a little bit different, right? So we're going to start with the f of 2, go right up here, and then we come over to 3, and what do we do with this 3?
Plug it in for the G to end.
And we end up with 7. So anyway, that's it. Did you guys, you did it in the wrong order, Angel? Yeah. Just watch out for the number close to it. Anybody else have trouble with these at all? Okay. Anyway, just be, all right. Let's go on here. Next, number 3. What did you get for number 3? Yeah, one thing you got to be careful with these here is because C is a distractor, because if you didn't read range carefully enough, you would have picked C. But the real answer is B. And B is right and D is not because of the bracket versus parentheses, okay? So good job on this. Next. This one here, what did you get for this one?
I got an A.
A. Anybody get B for this one? You got B? Okay. If you got B, you were tricked. So let's go ahead and look at how you got tricked, because that's important. I had people in 5th period who missed it too, right? But that's the purpose of this thing. This is a formative assessment. Let's learn from our mistakes. So we're going to put 35t minus 5t squared. So we have this, and we go to our table view, and we see why we got tricked, right? This shows everything. But if you go ahead to this, to change the table set here to 0.5, you're going to see something a little different, aren't you? You're going to see a little more detailed that on the way up you got to 60 meters, on the way down you got 60 meters, and reached the maximum height in between of 61.25 meters. Did anybody go to the table view to solve this? You solved it that way? Were you able to get down and drill it down to the thing? Man, that is just awesome. That is just awesome work here.
That is in the middle of my
Good job. All right. And then the graphing. Most people I see solve this by graphing. If you're a table genius like Kaylee, okay, that'd be fine. But some of us aren't table geniuses like Kaylee. All right. Then we go for here, like 0 to 10, and our maximum height was 60, right? So I'm going to put 70. And here, if you go to the 70, I want 70. Not 0, thank you for catching that. So we go here and we see this graph, and that's good. And you have your choices. Once you're here, what can you do?
You can just do the first row.
Okay, I would go to second calc, but what else can you do?
Trace.
Trace, you can just flat out go to trace. Okay, if you go to trace and come right up to the thing, then you can go and get quite a bit of, if you've proportioned it pretty well, you're gonna get pretty accurately a maximum height. But the way I prefer to do it is, who said second trace? Let me say that, Katie? So if you go to second trace, you get a maximum here, and then it says left bound, you go to the left of the vertex, enter, and then go to the right of the vertex, enter, and so you'll get this. Now, what I want to point out is, here's one thing that's sort of deceptive about the way the table is, the way the calculator is. It says maximum, and right below you see x equals 3.5, right? But why is that misleading?
Because it said 3.4.
Well, no, it is, but that's not what I'm talking about. The reason it's misleading is because the maximum is really this,
Oh, yeah.
right? And so it's right over the x value. That's the place where the maximum occurs. Now, one thing you got to watch out for on the test that you're going to get here tomorrow and next week, the end of the semester, is one thing they're going to do. One thing I'm going to do. I'm just flat out telling you. It's in my test. And I don't know what tomorrow's test looks like because I haven't looked at it in detail. But one thing you're going to see is you're going to be asked for one of two things. You're going to be asked for either the maximum height or the time it takes to get there, right?
Same thing.
It's not the same thing because
It's the same point on the graph.
it's the same point on the graph, but it's the x value versus the y value. So look over here right up above Emma there where we have the crosswords, right? Time and elevation and seconds and height. You see those?
Yes.
So watch out for those because that's, on that one tomorrow, I forget if it's seconds or elevation, but it's going to be one of those two. And sometimes it'll be a free response. And by the way, Kinsey, on the free response, you don't have to mark every little zero. Okay, you just have to mark a number, and you don't have, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to mark 0, 0, 0. I'm just talking about your last free response thing you filled out, where you filled in everything on the top. That's what I'm talking about. 0, 0, 0, 0. You don't have to have everything filled in.
Just, if it's 7, you just put 7.
I
You don't
know.
put 0, 0, 0, 0,
Yeah.
7.
I was bored, so I...
No, that's okay, but if you do that, you're prone, perhaps, Kinsey, to make a mistake and not it. So just keep it simple, all right? Then this one here, this one should be, what'd you get for this one? Should be A, unbounded, okay? Next one here, what'd you get for 6? B, everybody get B?
Yeah,
Kay, did you get B? You didn't? Okay.
I got B.
Let's go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and, before we graph it, I'm gonna go ahead and factor this and analyze. So how do you factor the numerator here? So here's your factoring, right? And what happens when you factor this? You're left with just x minus 3.
Yeah.
So you lose the table, yeah. So the table view is a good way to do this. But if you look at the table view right here, and I put just, if I put x plus 3 and zoom 6, okay, this just looks like this, and that's what the graph of the thing looks like.
Yeah.
But that's not the function, is it?
Nope.
The graph is this one. I'm going to go ahead and do this here. And it's going to be, it's x squared minus 9, isn't it?
Yes. Over x.
Over x plus 3. So now, if we graph this blue one, well, somehow something's messed up here. No, this is x minus 3, excuse me. That's what this is. Okay, now I got it right. Wait a second.
There you go.
Is that it? Okay, yeah. That's it. So, what it is, you go to the table view, and you can see right here at x equals -3, okay? Now you see we have in the blue one, we have an error, but otherwise it's the same, isn't it? So just be careful about that and watch for these. What kind of discontinuity is this? Point discontinuity at x equals -3, okay? So that's that one. And so tomorrow is going to be a lot of stuff about discontinuities on there, so watch out for that. So yeah, that's going to be, and the one we have next week is going to concentrate more on inverses and compositions.
Do you know what test next week?
Next week, yeah. The next one, tomorrow is going to be, we're not going to, I don't think it's going to have inverses or compositions on it. Okay, this one here has a vertical asymptote at x equals -4. So you should get x plus 4, and then you'll have x minus 3 here, and you're going to have x minus 3 here, x plus 5. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so you have x, this is the one where you have this, so x plus 4 cannot equal 0, so you have x is equal to -4. That's your vertical asymptote.
Finish graphic.
Yeah, just when you graph it, you'll see it. So the ones like that are just going to be really easy to do. This one, 8, what did you get for 8? You should get B, because you have a slope of 4. Your inverse is going to be the reciprocal of 4, which is 1/4, so that's going to be that. Next, this one is going to be what? B, 2 maxima and 1 minimum, okay? So that'll be B. Shh, Carmen? Okay, this one, 10, is going to be D, -4. You have a vertical asymptote, which is your discontinuity, excluded value. Okay, this one here, 11, is going to be, it's going to be C. This is your parent function. This one here is going to be, this one here is going to be B. You take the 14 into G. So if we have 14, square root of 14 plus 2 is going to be 4. So we take this 4, 3 times 4 squared, 48 minus 2. And then we have the other quiz I gave you here. I want you to go over that. I'll go over this really quickly. Okay, this one here is going to be B. Okay, that's B. This one here is going to be B, inverse function. This one here is going to be C, horizontal stretch. We'll make it wider, okay? And the last one's going to be A.
What's number 1?
Okay, how many got all these right in both of them? Man,
I missed like 2.
missed 2. Okay, good. But I'm glad we have people who missed. But what, you missed something, or you
learned
recognize
something.
what you missed from
You
it?
learned something.
Very good. That's good. Good job.
What?
My mom never
You didn't learn that.